Next year's Indonesian presidential election is set to be a three-horse race between two former governors and a retired army general. Defence Minister Prabowosubianto and his running mate Gibran Raka registered their candidacy today just ahead of the deadline. Now, Mr. Gibran is the son of President Joko Widodo, who is set to leave office after completing the maximum 2 terms. CNA's Saiful Ismail reports.
Thousands of supporters of Prabowosubianto and Gibran Raka gathered outside the General Election Commission in central Jakarta to witness the pair register their candidacy for the presidential election. Mr. Subianto and Mr. Raka were also accompanied by representatives from 9 political parties which form the Indonesia Onward Coalition. On Sunday, Mr. Subianto announced Mr. Raka who is President Joko Widodo's eldest son, as his running mate. Observers said Mr. Raka may help Mr. Subianto's electability. At 36 years old, Mr. Raka is the youngest participant in next year's presidential election. He provides the much-needed balance to Mr. Subianto, who is 72 years old, and the oldest participant in the presidential race. Young voters are highly sought after in this election because 106 million voters, or about half of the 204 million total eligible voters, are considered young people or those below 40. Analysts said Mr. Subianto's decision to partner with Mr. Raka could attract some of the president's massive support base.
Marilah kita berkomitmen bersama untuk mensukseskan pemilihan umum yang akan datang. Pemilihan yang kita ingin adalah pemilihan yang sejuk, rukun, penuh kekeluargaan, penuh perdamaian. Kita akan bertanding dengan gagasan, bertanding dengan visi, bertanding dengan program.
But activists and analysts have raised concerns over what they see as Mr. Widodo's attempts to retain influence after leaving office. The public was outraged over a last-minute court decision on eligibility criteria that allowed Mr. Raka who is a relative newcomer on the political scene, to run. However, this has yet to dent Mr. Subianto's popularity. Recent opinion surveys showed Mr. Subianto neck and neck over former Central Java Governor Ganjar Pranowo and former Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan is a distant third. Mr. Pranowo and Mr. Baswedan made known their candidacy last week on the first day of registration. After registration closes, the General Election Commission will verify the documents submitted by the presidential hopefuls. The Commission will officially announce the presidential and vice presidential candidates on 13th November, and the next day, the Commission will conduct a ballot to determine the election number for the candidates. Campaigning for the presidential election will then officially kick off on 28th November. Saiful Ismail, CNA, Jakarta.